Nah, besides the point. I was just I was just saying that times are rough, and I want to share with you what I'm learning along the way. It's been quite complex in understanding. Uh, I see what's going on. How the system. Everybody thinks the system is a failure, but I come to realize that it's not the system that is a failure. It's us that is a failure. The reason it's us that is a failure is because the system didn't fail itself. It failed you. And the design departed from its true intent in the obvious way, easily seen, discovered, or understood. It's readily apparent to a person that of ordinary skill in a particular art, considering the scope and content of the prior art. And learning along the way is just a bumpy road, you know what I mean? And how we take this bumpy road is how we rip Ryder the fuck out of them. Tear them fools apart from the very start. So, I was Rip Ryder, man. I was just, talking about this occupational disease like always. It's it's a hazard out here, not even cop watching. Just in preparation of future litigation. It's harmful to your health, you know. And then it's something that they have a occupational tax on too. They'll try to tax the fuck out of you. They'll try to take everything you got at every opportunity you extend. Especially fools like this right here. I would like to help you learn how to assess others and their online profiles and their behavioral traits and by their interactions. How nice would it be if we could just block these individuals out of our life easily as we do spam or pop-up messages on the internet? With who you are. And just because I haven't been up here doesn't mean that I haven't been around. I've been right here in my cubbyhole. What you see right here. In my own zone. I'm putting it down. Um, you know, in all senses, we have a non-consensual obligation. And we can either consent to obligations or not consent to obligations. But most of us are intimidated by the enforcement of the obligations. And we see the system and how much we may or may not have to lose. And some of us got a whole lot to lose. Others have more than others. But no matter what, you always lost something as a tax provider. And if you think about it, it's coming with that service that you're out there making videos of. The police and trying to educate the public on police corruption, state legislature corruption. You're trying to, pinpoint behaviors in our society that is obvious that needs a correction. Thank you, South Central Audit, for your support, man. Thank you. I'm not trying to influence negative advice or give an impression of a sovereign citizen because there's no such thing. I mean, the only institution I see acting as a sovereign citizen is the state. And the statement is to say the state and its agencies, its entire empire is huge. It's a racket. It's crazy how it's structured and its overall design. And it's a product. And you know, that call for service that comes over the radio. That's a product that's being delivered. And that product has an obligation of standard of care to be exercised in the discharge of that product's delivery. It can't cause harm. It can't cause maleffect or a dysfunctional feature, and someone else is injured as a result of that, damaged property. That'd be like owning a company and you work on cars and you forget to put the brake line on some guy's car. Let's just call him Mitchell. And, you forgot to put the brake lines on his car. And, he was escaping from the law enforcement with several old antique VCRs in the trunk. And he was trying to get away and he just couldn't get it. It all just came out of his pants right there in the driver's seat. And the product default or defect was the mechanic didn't hook up his brake lines correctly. So, in a sense, the mechanic can be held liable for the faulty labor that he put into the car, even though he was running away with stolen VCRs that were antiques that belonged to his mother. That's besides the point. So they would try to hold you accountable for that as a manufacturer and a product of supply. It comes down to it, like the cops, they claim to protect and serve, but at whose service are they really at? Yours or its principal provider of that zone controlled territory? And I say zone controlled territory because the territory is essentially the state. And it's zoned. And it's controlled. And it's controlled through regulations. It's controlled through passings of bills. And these things seem so irrelevant to the issues at hand. But in effect, they know that you don't understand these things, so they take advantage of your ignorance. They tell you that your ignorance of law is no excuse. But like I said, lo and behold, the minute you go